Hi, I'm Liz with Liz Toth Properties, powered by EXP Realty, and I'm a residential real estate agent in Raleigh, North Carolina. And today I have a very special guest for my video today, Ian Brinkley with Brinkley Insurance. Ian is my personal insurance broker, and he helps me with home, auto, and business insurance. Ian, I think I've mentioned to you in the past, you've saved me like $600 a year on home and auto. So I recommend him to everybody. And a lot of my clients have used him over the years. And so he is nice enough to join me on this video today. And I'm going to ask him some questions and have him talk a little bit about insurance. And Ian, why don't you start by introducing yourself?
Yep. Thank you very much, Liz. Yep. I am Ian Brinkley. I'm with the Brinkley Insurance Group. We are a local insurance broker here in Raleigh. What we do a little bit differently is that we, being a broker, we represent several different companies. We're not just tied to one particular company. And we really try hard to mold and find the coverage package that works best for the client, utilizing several different companies, different products, rather than taking that client, if I only work for one company, and trying to make them fit into that company's underwriting standards. So we first of all look at coverage. Coverage is most important to us, but then we try to find the best coverage at the lowest cost, and really tailor the coverage to the client.
That's great. And one of the things that, and I've appreciate Ian, I have my home insurance policy with him, and they did see that the insurance policy was going to go up significantly. So they found a different plan and were able to shift me to that plan pretty quickly and save me some money. So I really appreciated that. And the other thing I love about Ian is that he is local, and he lives here in Raleigh. And that was a concern as well, that I know we had talked about in the past. I hate the idea if something happens that I'm going to call like a 1-800 number. I'm going to wait 45 minutes on the phone to talk to somebody, and they don't know me or my situation. They don't know Raleigh. And I had mentioned that to Ian because I was concerned when I was first making the switch, and he said, no, I'm local. I'm here. I'm your person. If something goes wrong, contact me. And so, that's something that is a huge plus, as well as having you be here local and just understanding the market and what's going on and things like that.
Yep, my office is right here in Raleigh, and even though we work with different companies, I am your agent. So I'm the one that does the servicing of the policies. We take your information for claims. And we work for you, the client, actually. We partner with these insurance companies, but we don't actually work for any of these insurance companies. So, we're not we're not employees. If we need to move away from an insurance company for a given reason, we only try to work with companies that work well for our clients, but we work for the clients, and that's that's another one of our differences here.
And that's awesome. And I know that's something that so many of my clients appreciate, and I do as well. And speaking of clients, like Ian, I work with so many folks that are moving to North Carolina from other states, and from what I understand, our insurance here in North Carolina, the policies and procedures and everything is a little bit different than other parts of the country. So can you speak to that, like why we're a little bit different or what's different in North Carolina?
Yeah, so I am located in Raleigh, but I am licensed in several states. So I know how we compare in North Carolina to a lot of different areas, different states. From a coverage standpoint, all the coverage concepts are roughly the same. I mean, that the policies sort of operate the same. Where we kind of fall behind at times is going to be the new ideas that come about, like new car replacement and a lot of the stuff that you hear about when you're watching commercials and comes up with this crazy concept. We're always the last to get those. So from a innovative insurance product standpoint, we're going to be the last, North Carolina, in terms of as a state. But when you actually compare our insurance rates versus other areas like New Jersey, New York, Florida, we're very affordable. Our rates are way lower than those states. Now, if you live in North Carolina from time to time, you may see, rates creeping up a little bit compared to your previous policies. But when you actually are moving to the state and you're noticing, and you compare them to where you're coming from, we actually do compare quite favorably. And we have some of the lowest rates as compared to all the other 50 states.
Awesome. And I'm glad you mentioned lowest rates because this was all over the news recently, and a lot of questions. I've had a lot of questions from clients about, what's going to happen with insurance rates. There was a big story about insurance rates going up like 44%. Can you speak to that a little bit?
Yeah. So that news article that you're talking about, that came out maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. It's a WRAL article, which is our local sort of news outlet here in the Raleigh area. And so every year, it's governed by the Department of Insurance, and there's a carrier side and there's a consumer side, and the carriers, and it's voted on and negotiated down. So that 44%, that was a way of grabbing headlines. I think the headline was insurance rates want to go up 40% or 44%. That doesn't impact the entire state of North Carolina equally. That 44% is more than likely a place like the Outer Banks, or a place that's susceptible to, large hurricanes, things like that. And it's unlikely that they will even get to the 44%. They start high and it gets negotiated down to a set level. Rates in the triangle will likely increase. Rates in North Carolina in general will likely increase, but you're not going to see across the board 44%. That rate may be negotiated to like a 12% or an 8% here in Wake County or in the triangle area. Now, the way that you combat any kind of rate increase is every carrier has different underwriting, has different pricing. Just shopping, remarketing your policies, allowing somebody like me that has options, and shopping around is really the way that you can combat any rate increase. Like I said, rates are going to go up, and there's a long laundry list of reasons why they're going to go up. But the way to combat that is allow us to kind of remarket your policies, or provide you some comparison quotes, and go from there.
And that's a great idea to always, and that's one of the ways that I found Ian was, I had insurance for a couple of years, and I just decided to shop and see what else was out there. And I was just so surprised by the difference when I had Ian, research my home and auto and all that stuff. So that's a great point. So you talk about differences, Ian, in rules and regulations and standards and things like that with insurance companies. I've heard that it's going to get more strict. And I think in particular about like the roof of a home. That's one of the first things that you always ask about when, you're quoting homeowners insurance rates. Is that going to change? Because when you're a buyer and you're buying a home, I mean, obviously the roof is a big part of it. You want to know the age, and that's important to the insurance company as well. So what are you seeing as changes coming with regard to that?
Right. So the age of the roof is really a hot button topic right now. And when it comes down to these rate increases, so the way that a carrier can kind of adjust these things is they can either take rate and increase rates, or they can tighten up their underwriting standards and only, aim to bring on, certain types of business. So the age of the roof is something that's new, and it varies per company. Every company wants to write brand new construction because it has the lowest sort of risk level. When it comes to the age of the roof, I have carriers that'll go up to 20 years on the age of the roof. I have carriers that go up to 10. And then, it's really, if I don't have a good fit for you, or I can't offer, a suggestion here or there, I may be able to find you another company, and I would refer that business out if I don't have a great fit for it. The age of the roof is something that's the hot button topic. Insurance policies don't really cover for wear and tear. Now, what causes wear and tear on a roof is wind, hail, and that is covered. So it comes down to this: are you replacing the roof because it's old? That technically is not covered by insurance. Are you covering the policy because it's damaged? That is covered by insurance. And that's why the age of the roof is such a hot button topic, is trying to figure out, where the coverage would apply.
Okay. Well, that's great information. And that's good information for me, when I'm out helping a buyer and they're searching for a home, and we're looking at resales and homes with older roofs and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I had a question. I get this question a lot from clients, and I had this question myself because I do live in a community. My home is almost 30 years old, and you think about like the water lines that are in the front yard and then the water lines in the home. Anything that gets to be 30, 40 years old has the propensity to, have a problem or break or anything like that. When you move into a home, you get all kinds of marketing materials and warranties and sign up for this and sign up for that and pay for this. What does a homeowner actually, what do you recommend with regard to that?
Yeah, so what you're referring to is service line interruption coverage. And as I mentioned before, with our products in the state of North Carolina, it's pretty old school. So service line interruption is basically the main water line, sewage line coming into the house from the road. And that is something that is not covered on your standard policy. That needs to be endorsed in the policy. And we just recently were approved to offer this coverage. It's been available in other states for many years. It's also offered typically by your utility company. Now, the cost to add it to certain for a lot of carriers is anywhere between $40 to $60 added to your policy if they offer it. It's about $100 a year from the utility company.
Okay, so 40 to 60 a year for the insurance policy, but 100. Is that right?
From the utility company. And I actually recommend going with the utility company, primarily because they're the ones that are going to determine where the problem is, and they're the ones that are going to fix it. So if you get the coverage directly through them, it's more streamlined, and you're not filing an insurance claim on top of it. It's not going to be subject to your deductible. And they're the ones, again, they're going to fix it from start to finish. So, it is a little bit more expensive, but you may be better off getting that coverage there. But if you want to save some money and have that peace of mind, we do offer that kind of coverage. Okay.
And that's specifically for the water lines in the front.
Once you're in the house, let's say it's a pipe that breaks, like, your dishwasher leaks, you have, that's all covered on your home policy.
Okay. All right. Well, good. Yeah. I always get that question because people get so many things in the mail after they buy a home. So.
Yes. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, good. Well, thank you so much, Ian, for taking the time today. Is there anything else that you want to add before we wrap up the interview today?
No, I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Liz, for having me. As I mentioned before, you're going to see some rate shifting in North Carolina if you lived here before. If you're moving to the state, I'd love the opportunity to earn your business. But if you live here and you're seeing rate fluctuations or difference in your bill, and the best thing you can do is reach out and reevaluate things. And I'm happy to do it. If you are currently my customer, we try to stay on top of changing rates and fluctuating rates, but we don't always know you're unhappy. But just let us know and we can remarket policies. We're happy to do it. We do it all the time. And if you aren't with me, I'd love the opportunity to earn your business, at least prepare some comparison quotes. There's no charge to work with me. So that's, let me know if I can help.
Awesome. And all of Ian's information will be in the description below the video. I definitely recommend reaching out. Things change. Ian, do you recommend, once a year having your policies reevaluated, or every couple of years, or
probably every couple of years? It's just everything. There's so much fluctuation right now. So it's, but we're happy to, and when we reevaluate for folks, it's best to do it at the renewal. So when you get that bill in the mail or you get your renewal paperwork, take a look at it and let us know if you got questions. Or again, if you'd like some comparison quotes, we'd love the opportunity to work them up for you.
That's great. Well, thank you, Ian, so much for taking the time today. I really appreciate it. I hope all of our viewers got a lot of information out of it as well, and had some questions answered. Again, if you have questions on buying real estate in the area or relocating to the Raleigh-Durham area, don't hesitate to reach out. And if you have questions about your insurance and having that evaluated, your home, auto, Ian also helps me with business insurance as well. So if you're a business owner, that's something that he can help you with as well. His contact information will be in the description below. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch the video. I hope you have a great day, and I look forward to talking to you again soon. And thank you again, Ian.
Thank you very much, Liz. Take care.